Ichie Madoka was very happy, and after 2 days he visited Obiora's hut, but his plans failed as he visited an empty hut that day. Obiora had gone to his farm to plant some cassava, as it was the planting season in the village. While digging the soil to enable him plant his cassava sticks, he noticed something beneath the soil. At first, he thought it was a stone, but was shocked to know that it was gold. He went to another position of the farm and digged the soil. Then he saw another gold. He did that for hours and discovered that the land was filled with gold. He took some of the gold home and invited his friend Chinedu, who was familiar with gold, to be very sure of his sight and what he saw. He was very happy to know that those were real gold. Once upon a time, in a village lived a man called Obiora. Obiora was the only son of late Mr. and Mrs. Okoro, who had died many years ago, when Obiora was 15 years old. Obiora's wife had also died few years ago and had refused to take a second wife, due to the love he had for his late wife Chika. He was told many times to take a wife to retain his lineage, but Obiora believed that no other woman would be able to match up with his wife's standard and taste, and so he decided not to take another wife. Obiora had a dog, whom he named Jack. Jack was so friendly and smart as well. He would always share his secrets with it, and sometimes whenever he misses his wife, the dog would be his only comforter. Obiora loved the dog so much, like a child. The dog was bought by his late wife when the dog was little, before the demands of his wife, and he had been the one taking care of it since then. He was a well-trained dog that it can sense the smell of a thief and that of a witch. One morning, Ichie Madoka visited Obiora's hut, and suddenly Jack started to bark at him. Obiora was surprised to see Jack barking at Ichie Madoka, for it only barked at thieves, witches, or someone who had come on a dangerous mission. But on a second note, Obiora thought Jack was only barking at Ichie Madoka because it was the first time he had visited since the demands of his wife, and Jack was only 8 months old then. Ichie Madoka was Obiora's uncle, who had come to tell Obiora to sell his land to him. But Obiora refused, as the land was the only thing his father left for him to survive on. But Ichie Madoka was a man that takes no for an answer. He tried convincing Obiora to sell the land to him, but Obiora was a man that stands by his word. Seeing that Obiora was so inconvincible, Ichie Madoka decided to visit the king's palace and brainwash the king into convincing Obiora to sell the land to him. The king sent for Obiora at once and tried convincing him to sell the land to his uncle Ichie Madoka, since Obiora had no wife nor children to inherit the land when he's no more. But Obiora was a man who never backs out, no matter the person trying to convince him. The king tried his best for days, but Obiora still stood on his ground. Knowing that the king was still unable to convince Obiora to sell the land. Ichie Maduka then decided to make Obiora sell the land to him the hard way at all costs by visiting a deadly juju man who gave him a charm and instructed him to put it in his pocket when next he visits Obiora. And with the charm in his pocket, Obiora would have no choice than to sell the land to him at once without thinking twice. Ichie Maduka was very happy, and after 2 days he visited Obiora's hut, but his plans failed as he visited an empty hut that day. Obiora had gone to his farm to plant some cassava, as it was the planting season in the village. While digging the soil to enable him plant his cassava sticks, he noticed something beneath the soil. At first, he thought it was a stone, but was shocked to know that it was gold. He went to another position of the farm and digged the soil. Then he saw another gold. He did that for hours and discovered that the land was filled with gold. He took some of the gold home and invited his friend Chinedu, who was familiar with gold, to be very sure of his sight and what he saw. He was very happy to know that those were real gold. Obiora and Chinedu decided to keep it a secret till they get someone to buy the gold, or probably get an idea of what to do with it later. I have a friend who is a local goldsmith in Umuada's village. He can help us by teaching us how to go about it, Chinedu said to Obiora. Umuada's village was Obiora's maternal village. He sees this as opportunity to travel there with Chinedu to learn and know more about gold. After securing the land very well in a way that Ichie Maduka won't be able to make his way into it and then travel to Umuada's village for few months, Ichie Maduka visited Obiora's hut with the charm countless times but met Obiora's absence. When Obiora came back from Umuada's village, Ichie Maduka sent some village dogs after him, but they didn't succeed because of Jack. When the thugs arrived at Obiora's hut, Jack had already sensed their intentions. He started barking seriously at them and chased them out very far away from Obiora's hut. The thugs were so terrified that they had no choice than to run for their lives. Ichie Maduka then visited the deadly juju man again, but this time he was given a charm to kill Obiora. He was instructed to bury the charm at Obiora's compound at night, and when Obiora crosses the spot and will die immediately. Ichie Maduka waited till midnight when Obiora and Jack were already fast asleep. He arrived at Obiora's compound at midnight and started digging a small hole and was about to bury the charm when he felt a sharp pain on his leg. He was still holding the charm when he noticed it was Jack, holding his leg with his teeth. Ichie Maduka couldn't bear the pain and he started screaming so loud, and at once people started coming out from their huts, including Obiora. Everyone was surprised to see Ichie Maduka holding a charm at that late hour, and at once he started to confess all his evil deeds. Ichie Maduka was the one that killed his younger brother Okoro, Obiora's father. What happened was that many years ago, then Obiora was 15 years old. Ichie Maduka knew from the start that the land was filled with gold, and that was why he never told Okoro about it, but rather tried convincing him to sell the land to him. Ichie Maduka and his brother Okoro had gone to plant some cassava in the farm. The farmland belongs to Okoro and had told his brother Ichie Maduka to farm on the land for the season, as Ichie Maduka had sold his own land given to him by their father for financial purpose. Ichie Maduka was forced to notice the gold while he was digging the soil to plant cassava, but kept it a secret from Okoro. He tried many times to convince him into selling the land to him, but Okoro refused to sell his only land as that was the only thing he inherited from their father. Ichie Maduka sees Okoro as a hindrance to his plans and decided to get rid of Okoro by poisoning his drink. But little did he know that Okoro had already told his wife, Oge, never to sell the land, not even at any cost. After the death of Okoro, Ichie Maduka tried to convince his brother's wife into selling the land, but she refused selling it to anyone, not even to Ichie Maduka. One morning, Oge was in the farm harvesting some cassava when she saw the gold, covered with soil. Ichie Maduka killed her before she could utter any word concerning the gold to Obiora. After killing Obiora's parents, he tried to take advantage of the situation by trying to convince Obiora to sell the land to him. But Obiora, as young as he was then, told Ichie Maduka to wait till he turned 25 before selling the land to him, to enable him use the money to get a wife and start up a business for himself. Ichie Maduka was very happy that finally someone had agreed to sell the land. He waited patiently for Obiora to turn 25, but was later disappointed when Obiora got married at the age of 24 and was told by his wife Chika not to sell the land. Ichie Maduka was so angry at Chika, for he sees her as another hindrance to his plans, and also killed her by sending some village touts after her one morning on her way to the village river to fetch water. She was raped to death by the thugs, and Obiora was left alone again. The whole villagers were shocked at his confession. Obiora cried bitterly as the whole truth was revealed through Ichie Maduka's confession. Ichie Maduka was later stoned to death the next morning, and his body was thrown into the evil forest for vultures to feast on. Weeks later, Obiora started a local goldsmith in the village with the help of his friend Chinedu, and they both did very well to improve the business and the village. And the villagers never traveled to Umuada's village to buy gold, as they all patronized Obiora. Months later, Obiora's gold business improved from local to international. He later married another wife, and together with Jack, they lived happily ever after.